People want to put me in jail for what I've done.
Anti-science aggression has now become a major killing force globally.
Why do people deny science?
People don't know what science is or how and why it works.
We own the science, and we think that the world, should know it.
During the COVID pandemic in the United States, 200,000 Americans needlessly lost their lives because they refused a COVID vaccine, even after vaccines became widely available.
The answers we get is because they say so, without a lot of...
Well, they're the experts. It's not just they. These are scientists. These are experts.
And now the anti-vaccine activism is expanding across the world, even into low and middle income countries. It's a killing force.
People are indicting the entire scientific community.
He had to really move at the speed of science.
Anti-science now kills more people than things like gun violence, global terrorism, nuclear proliferation, or cyber attacks.
This is fast-moving science.
And now it's become a political movement.
There are people who are sowing doubt in places where there's no need to do so.
In the U.S., it's linked to far extremism on the far right, same in Germany. So this is a new face of anti-science aggression.
Attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
You're attacking science and the truth.
Sudden adult death syndrome is not linked to vaccines, nor is SADS a new condition.
There's always been transgender children.
Hi kids, the young kids.
Are you a boy? Are you a girl?
There is no such thing.
Maybe you're somewhere in between. And your brain has a difficult time recognizing a spectrum, and so you're requiring it be into a bin. So there you are, forcing other people to match how you see the world. And that's wrong.
There is no such thing as not moving.
Nobody is upside down. That's one of the dumbest things you morons say.
Say, well, isn't Earth down?
Intrinsic down direction caused by the gravitational pull of Earth.
What's the difference? What's down on a globe?
There is no up or down.
Even if you were at home on your couch trying to be as still as possible, you are still traveling your 1,000 miles an hour, plus Earth's 66,000 miles an hour, plus our system's 550,000 miles an hour, plus the galaxy's 2.237 million miles an hour equals about 2.855 million miles per hour, or about 800 miles every second. How does that make you feel? Small, tiny, insignificant?
Everyone thought Earth was flat. Why? Because it looked flat.
Yeah, it looks really straight, but it's not, because the Earth is a sphere.
It's got nothing to do with this. That's you trying to be human about this. Don't be human. That mess you up.
The goal here is to train your mind.
We have to train ourselves to trust the data.
The entire point of the Copernicus system that is being utilized now is to try to prove there is no up, there is no down, there is no heaven above, there is no nothing. There's no right, there's no wrong.
There is no such thing as not moving. There is no up or down.
Now, first of all, lad, we've got to get all these medieval ideas out of your head. Clear the way for new ideas.
If the boy goes about saying the world is round, he'll be so mixed up he'll be wearing his shoes on his head.
Back from Bermuda and the 20th century. And believe me, you can have it. One big modern mess.
Trans kids.
Trans kids.
Vulnerable transgender kids. Target trans youth.
Trans kids.
Trans youth.
Trans kids.
Transgender minors is the gender affirming healthcare for transgender kids.
Trans kids.
Trans kids.
Trans inclusive families, LGBTQ people, people of color, anyone who has a uterus.
There's always been transgender children.
When someone asks, what is a woman? The answer requires a discussion of genetics and neurochemistry.
I'm not a biologist.
Very passionate about public science literacy and science denial. Please wear your masks. Anything you've heard about masks being ineffective or somehow dangerous is ridiculous. They work.
Very passionate about public science literacy and science denial.
Wearing them is the absolute least that people can do to uphold minimal civic responsibility. Viruses exist and they cause disease. People don't get paid salaries to study things that don't exist.
I can tell you how many oxygen atoms there are in that galaxy.
Some say
it has never been isolated.
Denying the germ theory of disease is like denying the the existence of gravity.
What is gravity?
You have no idea. Okay, next question.
Or claiming the Earth is flat. Election was rigged against Trump or things like this. People getting the vaccine are not being experimented upon.
These vaccines have undergone the most intensive safety monitoring in U.S. history.
The more seriously we take this situation now, the sooner everything can
Go back to normal.
There is not really any strong position against
Getting this vaccine.
get vaccinated. He didn't know what gravity was. Einstein gave a better explanation.
We're probably going to get a better model later.
We look at the things in the sky to figure out the shape of the Earth because that's how we figured it out 2,000 years ago. Then Copernicus and Kepler happened, and they wrote books, by the way. They wrote books, and you can read them, that they exist. A horizon is an artifact that would not exist if there were not curvature.
Has to be a curve there, because the ship doesn't always stay in view. So Columbus, when he set sail, the ship eventually disappeared. This would count as evidence that Earth's surface was curved.
So I go after
like anti-vaxxers and stuff like that.
looking at light, and we are understanding about the materials, right?
We're understanding the composition of things based on light.
You're going to take the light and break it up into a rainbow and look very, very carefully at how much color is coming in each part of the spectrum.
You know what spectroscopy is?
You got a bunch of what looks like bumps and wiggles, but it's actually full of information content.
A claim that can't be tested. That's what we call pseudoscience.
So we look at the things in the sky to figure out the shape of the Earth, because that's how we figured it out 2,000 years ago, by looking at the stars. Just did prove it with that, so I don't know what to tell you.
They are too stupid to know how stupid they are.
It's finished proving the Earth is a sphere by looking at stars. I just proved the Earth is a sphere multiple times in this exchange based on looking at things in the sky.
And everything else you see in the solar system is a sphere?
Look at the moon. We see a circular object up there. The moon is round. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and the sun are all spheres. But Earth is flat. Something doesn't square.
Something doesn't jive, right? Okay. I hate to say it, but you sound like you're feeble-minded. If you walk into your room at night, you'd have to be pretty dumb to look up and see a light bulb that was round, and you'll swear your room must be round. You know, the light bulb has nothing to do with the shape of the room.
Let's start with something that's deceptively simple: gravity.
Gravity is a theory.
Another person who doesn't understand scientific theory.
Theory is a big deal. To reach the level of being called a theory means that it's been confirmed by a whole
series of kinds of evidence.
Isaac Newton, my man.
Newton developed Newton's law of universal gravitation. He didn't know heliocentrism. They didn't know. We use Newton's equations to do all these incredible calculations.
On occasion, when Newton's mathematics seemed to be a little bit off, oftentimes it was actually just pointing toward some hidden feature of reality, some hidden feature that could be explained if one imagined.
The difference between pseudoscience and regular science is whether or not you can test it.
What is gravity?
You have no idea. Okay, next question. Had to come to a deep understanding of gravity.
We're probably going to get a better model later.
Is outer space gay or straight?
It looks kind of gay, I feel like.
It's on a spectrum. If you see something repeat 100 times, that's reality. It's just something that becomes true just because you heard it often enough. You hear it enough, it must be true.
Yeah.
There it is. In the old days, we called it brainwashing, where you repeat something and then it becomes true. That's hijacking this feature of our evolutionary brain. So you try to sift through what is true, and it must be that which was repeated often enough. You are comfortable in your ignorance, and you don't even know your ignorance because you came to it from having learned, but only up to a point. They're not only controlling the information you receive, they're shaping how you receive it, which has an effect on how you then behave. How you create a worldview. You create an understanding of how things are, either because someone convinced you or you convinced yourself. Now there's a gap, or there's some information that conflicts with it. So you're going to say, if you cherish this worldview, that information that conflicts with it was falsified, or that was wrong. They don't know what they're doing. You can maintain your worldview.
You believe in the devil?
I remain unconvinced that such a thing exists.
Dang, you challenging him.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
Anti-science aggression has now become a major killing force globally.
It's flat, level. I'm eating me some dead humans.